How do you want to start this one? What do you want to do? How do you want to do this?
I don't know. There's just Sorry, I was about to say something and then I needed to word it in a very specific way.
I set you up for a zinger, and you didn't take it. God damn it! Hello.
God damn it! Hello.
God damn it! Hello.
You say it now.
God damn it!
Marco.
Hello.
Yeah. You have to, Marco. If you're gonna be on this show, you have to say the things.
I'm gonna introduce myself. I was gonna try to not embarrass Marco. And
I say nobody talk me in here. Right?
Well, I was gonna try to save you, but Jeremy just threw you right under the bus.
Yeah.
So way to go, Jeremy. We're off to a great start.
I have no sympathy.
For who? For me? For you? Or for Marco? Or
for people that don't watch our show.
Oh, that's fair. That's so.
He got you there.
You know what? I think you are the one who fucked up.
Yeah, I haven't listened to any podcasts in the last 4 months. So.
Oh, we make it so easy for you though by being on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
That's just it. I literally haven't listened to any of those types of things. I've barely watched anything in the past 4 months.
This is possibly the most convenient with Joe Rogan on Spotify and YouTube exclusively now. This is the most convenient podcast to listen to.
I don't listen to Joe Rogan.
So
we are convenient.
Fucking watch out, Joe Rogan. We're coming for you. That $2 million Spotify deal is going to be ours next.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Oliver the Ricketts.
I'm Brittany Spear. God damn it.
I'm Jeremy Kessler.
I'm Marco Bernardo.
And this is the Goddamn It Hello podcast with guest our friend Marco.
There's a lot of changes for today.
There are a lot of changes. If you listen to the last one, you know that I was stress packing while we were recording that show. And Brittany was so stressed from packing that she wasn't even on the show.
I could not keep my eyes open. I was asleep in my mom's bed, just sleeping.
Woof.
Yeah.
But now we've moved and we're in our nice new apartment that I was going to show off because we were going to do this on mobile cams. But that's
so
not
now the
what happened. Is somebody outside?
What?
Somebody's outside.
Is it the ferry?
My ferry here?
The ferry has maybe it was just a bug. I'm sorry. We're sitting
wow.
by, just so everybody knows, we're sitting, fuck you audio listeners.
Right by the front
We're sitting by a glass window. Also, Brittany is sitting right there too. We're sitting by our glass window and I thought, door. A wind door.
This is good television. Yeah, you've moved.
This is radio.
Okay.
And I decided that I needed something new for this episode too, so I have shaved.
Is that why you shaved?
No, that's not why.
That would have been. I would have given you props for the commitment.
So this is day 2 in our apartment, our new digs.
Well, night 2.
Well, night 2, yeah, day 3, I guess you could say, in our new apartment. And so I wanted to talk about this. Can I hop right in?
Yeah, you can hop right in.
Okay, I'm hopping right in. So I was invited to this group on Facebook called Drinker Bell Fairies. Jeremy, have you heard of this?
Nope.
Okay. And apparently nobody else has, because every time I mention it, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's, I believe, a female exclusive group on Facebook. I'm part of the Suffolk County one. Yeah.
That's a little sexist. Men can't be fairies?
I mean, I guess they could, but I've only seen females in it. And what happens is you drop your address. I mean, I really hope that it's not just like...
Wait, hold on a second. Did you put our address in a public Facebook group?
Multiple times.
Our new address that we're renting?
Yes. But so have literally thousands of other people on Long Island.
We talk about being doxxed on this show all the time because I always think we're going to accidentally give out our address. But it turns out that's not even how people are going to find us. All you have to do is enter Drinker Bell Fairies of Long Island.
Well, the thing is, they're going to give me free alcohol. So I decided that the risk was worth the reward.
Well,
so what they do is, apparently this is something that they're doing during like this COVID pandemic thing, that people are going around to other people's houses that they don't know, strangers' houses, and dropping them off gift baskets or gift bags filled with like alcohol and goodies and stuff like that. And I think it's really fun, and I want to be dusted. This girl told me today she was going to dust me tonight, or at least she heavily implied it. And I'm sitting by my door waiting very patiently to be dusted.
I really think you need to change the word dusted. It does not.
Yeah, I'm not really.
When you say it, I start thinking of like, you know, when a pregnant woman who's pregnant for the second time has a baby shower, and they call
That's a sprinkle, first of all.
Yeah, well,
I immediately go.
Honestly, I thought it was called a drizzle, and then when you started saying dusting, I'm like, is she just confused by the term? Are we pregnant?
No, we're
Again?
not pregnant. No.
I'm thinking about superheroes. Infinity War.
Oh, dusting because of and drugs. And the Great Depression. I'll say I think about the Great
Dust Bowl.
Depression.
Do you think about the grapes of wrath? But yes, so I really want to be dusted later in this week. I plan on doing a dusting of my own to new people in the area, and I'm going to give them my Instagram and stuff like that so I can make some friends. Because that's where we live now.
You should also give them.
Don't let me forget to bleep out what town you live in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jeremy, just straight up, you did actually just forget on a different one. I don't even remember which one it is.
I didn't forget. I missed it. I listened to the episode and I just missed it. But we didn't mention any towns.
My name, my home address.
Don't say that.
But I'm just saying, it happens. It's for everybody. It's called the fucking white pages.
I can literally use find your Twitter.
Yeah.
That you don't even use
I
anymore.
know.
We didn't mention the town we lived in. We just mentioned the town that a movie theater we go to is in.
That's how they get you. They find clues in the background and then they dox you.
Anyway.
And then they're showing up at your grandmother's house.
I'm waiting for my free alcohol.
Anonymous is going to find us.
Mm-hmm.
They're back now, so.
Yep, they leaked some shit about Princess Diana. It's and I can't wait for more leaks. Jeremy, why did you shave? Why would you do this to us?
It's kind of an impulse thing. I don't really know why. I woke up this morning and I was touching my hair and I said, there's too much here. And so I took a scissor to it and I was like, I'll just go the whole way. That's it.
Rough.
I don't know if I've ever seen you in person without a beard.
Jeremy's had no beard.
You definitely have. I usually don't do no beard unless I also do no hair.
No, yeah, okay. So I guess I should have worded that better. I don't think I've seen you no beard with long hair.
I remember seeing him when he buzzed his hair last. So that was right around when we first met, I think.
Yeah, no beard, long hair is not a very common look.
Well, what was great is Jeremy's always had long hair as long as I've known him. But he cuts it off every couple months, probably about every year.
Every 2 years.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you
to donate it.
Yeah.
So when I started making videos with Jeremy, it was right after he had cut his hair. And then we took so long making that he got another haircut. This fucking fairy
It's going to come and go. We're not going to.
When you said we might get interrupted, I didn't know it meant we would get interrupted every 5 minutes thinking that we were about to get interrupted.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, geez.
You should see some of these bags that they're putting up here. They're coming around in dinosaur costumes.
Lower your voice. We're going to see one tonight.
Fairies.
Well, we don't know that we're going to see one tonight.
If we're lucky, the Great Pumpkin will come here tonight.
My friend got dusted by somebody in a dinosaur costume. I'm going to pull it up.
Wow. It's getting a little late to be dusting.
I know.
Seriously. Especially,
well, this is as good a time as any to do the plugs while we're still waiting for the fairy.
You were in the middle of talking about my hair.
Hair, yeah. Every 2 years.
Oh, okay, weird. Yeah, so Jeremy would cut his hair every 2 years. When I first started making videos with him, he had cut his hair, and then we took so long making that. It's a lot.
Right?
Damn fairy.
A lot of fucking alcohol.
That's a lot of shit.
That
Anyway,
is
sorry.
many.
Yeah.
If you're an audio listener on Spotify right now, go fuck yourself, because
it's a lot of alcohol.
All we've said so far is look at our door, look at Jeremy's beard, look at this Facebook picture.
Look, someone got dusted today.
And
that was what was in it.
There's a lot of candy and stuff in it.
Nice. You know what? We should make this.
And that one was good because it didn't have a person's name in the picture.
Oh, here's another one.
another picture. This one's got
Another
some
picture.
pose.
I don't like the varying degrees of quantity here.
Well,
Yeah, how come?
people are
What if
doing-
you get dusted and you get like some shit?
Like, look at how pretty these are.
Okay, but what
Ooh,
if
that
your
one's
fairy
not
isn't
good,
as
'cause
thoughtful?
It also has somebody's name on it.
Sorry.
Let's do something else.
This one has a full bottle of wine
And Milano cookies. Do
And
not forget the
Milano
Milano
and a
cookies.
personalized cup.
Are we allowed to say Milano cookies? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Why can't? A lot of cookies are gonna get us doxxed.
These literally have like hand-drawn pictures on them.
This is great radio.
Sorry. Anyway, I'm trying to find the dinosaur that my friend posted, and then I'll be done with this. No.
All right, so I'm gonna do the plugs while we're doing
sure,
this.
it's very
What are
early.
the
Okay,
plugs,
it's
Oliver?
literally right. It's literally right here.
Damn
Hold
it.
on. Hold on. I'm trying
Holding. It's right here.
It's right here.
It's
I got
right
it. Well, I
here.
was
It's
trying to
right
get it
here.
so that her
Hold-
name
right.
wasn't in it because you kept yelling at me. But it's a
Oh,
little
it's-
video.
Okay, so we're watching a video now on a phone.
Right, yeah.
Oh, and okay,
I'm trying
is
not
Oh,
to-
you're talking about that kind of dinosaur costume.
Well, to
And
be
then-
specific, it's a T-Rex costume.
It's one of those inflatable like T-Rex costumes. I really thought you meant like a
the security camera.
like a Kigurumi.
Could you fucking imagine if right now, as we're sitting here doing this podcast, somebody came up to the door in a fucking dinosaur costume at 10 o'clock at night?
It would be great for the
I
YouTube
can imagine
watchers.
it. And they're gonna have to imagine it. 'Cause
I'm sorry. I'm done now.
All right, what are the plugs,
the
Oliver?
plugs are first of all, you, as I said before, you can listen to this podcast anywhere. It's very convenient. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pod Rocket. We just got added to a bunch of other ones. Basically anywhere where you can get podcasts, we're there, except for on SoundCloud, which I will fix eventually. Also, there's a usually multi-camera version of this show on YouTube as well. Also,
Trust us on this one. It's been like this more often than multicam, but the plan is multicam.
listen, it's not my fault that the world exploded right after we started this show. So, and honestly, I did the math yesterday, the amount of canceled episodes that we've had because we can't because the audio keeps getting fucked up. We still would have had more had that not
Two.
happened.
There's only been 2 lost episodes.
Well, I did the math and I think it checks out. Anyways, also, definitely go check out Pointsy Surf. What is his website?
PointsySurf.com.
He designed our logo, which may or may not be in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, it'll play at the end of this video. He does really great work, makes really great stuff. And
No, not that logo.
Oh, okay.
these side conversations.
Sorry, I was confused on which logo we were talking about here.
And also, I will be on the Voodoo Water TV podcast, I believe this weekend. I think he does it live, but I will be appearing on it. I want to give a thank you in advance well, I guess by the time this is up, I'll have already been on it. So definitely go check it out. I'll leave the Facebook link below. And that's all I got this week.
Cool. That's all we got this week. Have a good
Have a good weekend.
riddance.
Oh, my Pointies hat. I totally
Well,
forgot.
that's
What's the point? No, it's not a Pointies hat.
No. The hat that Pointsies wants.
Oh, yes. Pointies definitely wants that hat.
no. This is my hat now. Actually,
Totally my hat.
Totally my hat.
It's my hat now. It's
Drinking
totally
green
my
tea
hat.
all goddamn day.
Anyway. All right. So into our first real topic, aside from the free alcohol fairies.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tenet.
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 I wanted to take a minute and talk about this because we've been talking about the movie theaters closing on this show more than any other consistent topic as of late. Obviously that's one of the things that I'm really hoping reopens as quickly as possible. It's looking like AMC might go out of business.
Not to cut you off, but we have been talking about alcohol as a more consistent topic on this show as of
Well,
late.
that's true. Well, I've got
Product placement.
2 fingies of Rough Rider right now.
I have some
Um,
pre-made watermelon margarita,
As do I.
which is very good.
It's Cuervo, right? Jose
Yeah,
Cuervo?
Cuervo.
I have an old soda.
Great. You've had that old soda on
Open
your
it.
desk.
No,
Satellite episode.
no, thank you, Marco. I will not open this soda.
Is it like a
Please?
special collector's soda or?
I don't know. It's just old.
All right.
Let me see the bottle because you.
It's like, well, first of all, I will, but it's also like it's old and the bottle has like.
Let me see that label. Hold on. What kind of soda is that?
Is it Dr. Brown's?
I shouldn't have brought up the soda.
Let me see the fucking label now. I definitely didn't leave. Yeah,
We talked about this.
okay.
We talked about this.
Yeah, I didn't leave this soda at his house.
It's a old soda that I forgot was here for many a year.
There's an anime girl on there. and
Tentacle
her
grape.
tentacles.
It's called Tentacle Grape. I'm not proud of what I've done.
I'm not
here.
into tentacles.
But how did Brittany know that it was called tentacle grape?
Because I
first
just
of all,
flashed it
he
up on the
just
screen.
showed it, and second of all, we've talked about this already.
Oh.
As Jeremy.
On the podcast?
Yes.
Speaking of things we talked about, real quick before jumping into this is the most fucking whiplash-inducing episode we've ever done.
Yep.
We've got to ask Marco a couple questions as he's a guest on the show.
Yes. Here, it's called our awkward lightning round,
Okay.
where we don't prepare you for
All right.
questions and we just start asking.
Perfect.
Rock, paper, scissors, and shoot, or rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Get
What?
the fuck
Get
out
of
of here.
You're wrong.
Rock, paper, scissors, and shoot.
I go
Yeah,
rock,
you-
paper, scissors,
and
says shoot.
Rock,
Because
paper,
the extra syllable is the point, though.
rock
Extra
paper, scissors,
syllable.
shoot.
Shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, and shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors says shoot.
Oh, maybe I
Rock,
do
paper,
it that
scissors
way.
says shoot. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've crushed this one.
It says though, it's not end.
Okay,
I
but Marco,
will-
what about scissors, paper, rock?
No.
What kind of world are you living in?
Other countries say them in a different order sometimes.
Okay, but this is America.
I mean, I know a lot of people that do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like they go real quick. Yeah.
Not
That's,
into that.
I think that's the official rock paper scissors like tournament rules.
Tournament?
Well,
Yeah, there are tournaments. I've watched a couple.
where
It
I
gets
come
pretty
from,
intense.
rock, paper, scissors is just a way to settle a friendly disagreement.
Mm.
Um,
There are some Korean games involving rock paper scissors, and it's a lot of fun.
Do they use the extra syllable? I guess they don't call it rock, paper, scissors. They call it whatever that is in Korean.
I don't
Yeah.
know Korean, so
Okay, next one. Now that we've crushed that, we're right, and it is rock, paper, scissors, extra syllable.
says shoot.
says shoot. Yeah.
Either way, that's trivial and irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Elephant.
The
Irrelevant.
next question, please.
Okay, when you take a shower, right? Would you bring a beverage in there? We'll start with beer. Would you bring a beer in the shower?
doesn't
and
drink
it?
beer.
Yeah. So one,
Would
I
you
don't
bring
drink
an
beer.
alcoholic beverage in the shower and drink it?
I can't find myself ever really wanting to drink in the shower, but I understand the appeal. But I've never done it.
I think Jeremy and I disagree because we don't like the concept of the water mixing with the drink.
Yeah, I can understand
Yes.
What about like a glass of water in the shower? Because that's the fairy's here.
that. Oh, fairy might be here.
You're safe now.
Oh, they already dropped it.
They already dropped it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't it ruin the whole magic of the fairy if you see them dropping it off?
Yeah, but she wanted to give a drink to her, so.
I think, see, it even says you've been dusted.
Wow. All right. I guess let's put a pin in another podcast. We're gonna have to unravel a lot of pins. Let's put a pin in another one. Tell us what you got.
Keep our voice down. Our landlord's gonna yell at us.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
we need an unboxing. Now it's an unboxing video.
Yes, I got this. Oh my god, this is so cute. I'm so happy.
You have to say lower the camera.
Okay. I'm trying to get this off. Okay, cool. So, adorable little bag.
Nice.
That is a nice bag.
That lime?
Oh, this has a bath bomb.
Ooh.
That's nice.
Okay, but I
It's
can't
literally a bomb.
Show it to the camera.
Sorry. It's a bath bomb. Oh, there's a spider there.
Oh, cool. Get me that.
It came with a friend, a spider.
Do you want to? Do I want to show? I can show it.
This is the second spider
Oh shit! Where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
that we found in our apartment in the last half an hour.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
All right.
I guess this is
I don't
what
know if he's
happens
gonna
when you
climb up
move.
it.
Just leave it there. In the
There are spiders.
We had a good flow going.
Okay.
Oh, I thought-
Yeah, the spider.
did we? Are you sure about that, Oliver?
You killed
I like
it.
to-
I was trying
I
to
like
get him
to
to go
think
up the
so.
glass, and he wasn't fast
Okay.
enough.
We've
Survival of the
killed-
fittest.
We've killed the spider.
Okay. I've gotten a
No.
Bailey's.
I didn't try to.
I got a Bailey's salted caramel, which I've never seen before.
They make other flavors of
I guess
Bailey's?
so. 1800 coconut, which is fucking phenomenal. I got a
Coconut
bag
sauce.
of candy in this adorable bag.
That's not alcoholic.
No, it's not all going to be alcohol. Then I got a Band-Aid,
Ooh, a Band-Aid. I want to see the Band-Aid. Oh, it's just a
Heck yeah,
regular
dude.
Band-Aid?
lip balm, a sticker.
What flavor lip balm?
The flavor lip balm is cocoa butter.
Cocoa butter.
I believe this is an eraser. Yep, this is an eraser.
It is an eraser.
Oh, it's like
There's
an
a
emoji.
penny in here,
Lucky
a
penny.
marble, a lock, and a note.
A
Guys,
note.
No.
There's a,
What
there's
if it's
a note.
what if it's a treasure map?
I want to see the
Oh
marble.
my god! If
Oh
it's
my
a
God,
treasure map, that's gonna be the best episode we've ever done.
so sweet.
Oh, it's not a treasure map. That means.
Can I read this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my little note. It says a bag of hope, a lock to hold your secrets safe, a key to open new doors when others close, a rubber band to help you stretch beyond your limits, a Band-Aid to heal you when you're hurt, a marble for the days that you're sure you've lost yours, a kiss so you always feel loved, a lip gloss so you always feel beautiful, a circle to remind you that what goes around comes around, a paper clip to help hold everything together, a star to remind you to keep shining, an eraser to fix the small mistakes, a penny so that you're never broke, and a string to hold it all together through the tough times. This is adorable.
Well, I really hope she listens to this podcast so she can get the shout out.
I
but
hope so too. This has
Wouldn't that be
been
something?
wonderful.
It's a very basic marble, though. Shout out to Jelly's Marble Runs. That's been keeping the sports world going.
You're gonna need a.
Oh, you should watch it. Oh, so
I don't
the
know what
whole
you're
thing with
talking
Jelly's
about.
Marbles Run is it's literally just like
Another
obstacle
pit.
courses that marbles are then set through. It's very hardcore. There's teams. They do point system and everything. It's awesome.
Like the 2-hour marble race that my boss keeps telling me about.
Maybe that might be one of them. I've watched a couple of them. He's been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's like he's done Olympics. He does like all these crazy courses. It's actually pretty intriguing to watch.
My boss keeps telling me we have like a Friday happy hour after work. I've only been to like 2 of them. But every time I am at one, he goes, "Did you watch the 2-hour marble race?" I
I
say,
wouldn't watch 2 hours.
I
of
say
it,
no.
but-
What is that? He goes, "Well, you can't watch all 2 hours of it, but it is a great way to kill some time. But the amount that he's talking to me about it makes me think that he's definitely watched all 2 hours.
No, probably.
Both 2 hours.
Well, they usually do it in like segments by like event, so you're not like sitting there watching for the entire time. It'll usually be like 10 to 15-minute videos. I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube, there's a subreddit and everything. So if you're interested to watch some marbles, pick a team and start rooting.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Marble Race Pros is a proud sponsor of the Goddamn It Hello podcast.
You have to stop
as-
saying things like
As
that,
is
Oliver.
ESPN.
We are not this podcast is not sponsored
which
by
stands
anybody.
for- I was gonna make up one, but then I was gonna say Entertainment Sports Network, but that's really what it is.
Yeah, it never used to. It wasn't always that, though.
Fucking whoops. Yeah. Well,
It was like the Eastern Sports Network or something like
sorry if you were watching the bottom screen.
Sorry.
that.
All screens are up at the same time. Anyway, let's unpin one time. And now we're talking about the dust again. Now we'll
back to the dusting.
is there
I've given you all the topics for today. You're in charge of unpinning them and getting us to talk.
Okay. If we unpin unless we have more to say about the dust.
I'm just so happy right now. This
think
is
we're-
amazing. I need to do it to other people because this is so fun. And I'm just thank you to my little fairy who gave this to me. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, we unpin one more time. And now we're asking Marco about shower
Back
beers.
to the lightning round.
Wait, what are we asking Marco about?
Shower beers.
Okay. What about drinking something in the bathtub?
Yeah, I mean, I can see the wanting to do that. Like even
A
if it's,
much more relaxed setting.
yeah, like a hot tub.
Sorry,
even.
I shouldn't be
Well,
influencing
hot tub
your
hot
opinion.
tub is different because you're not cleaning yourself in a hot tub. my objection to the bathtub is the particles in the air getting in the drink. Don't like that. But I will concede that it is a more relaxed setting than standing under running water trying to drink. Again, I keep going back to the glass of water, but I don't know what I came in there with and what I left with. It's a fucking mess. But I could drink the glass of water in the bathtub if I thought that was acceptable, which I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I've never done it. I don't take baths very often. If I am using my jacuzzi jets because I do have a jacuzzi bathtub.
Ooh.
Ooh, very exciting.
So now, does that change your likelihood to bring a drink in there?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it. I don't think I'll ever really do it. So.
Okay, Marco's on the right side of history.
I'm going to consider that Marco is on our side on this.
I think, yeah, I'm on your side. I do understand your point of the particles getting into it, especially if it's jacuzzi or there's bubble bath in it and stuff like that. I think in a shower, it's a little less likely. It depends on what you're drinking because tap water is quite clean. So if you're drinking water, you're practically drinking tap water.
I think it's more likely for particles to get in because
when you're in the shower,
because you've got stuff falling on you.
Is what I'm saying. It won't matter as much.
I guess you're dirt.
It depends on where you're holding your drink, but
yeah, I mean, well, that's the other thing. Would you hold a drink? I would assume you're holding your drink as high as you can in the shower, so it's not like getting the wash off of your body.
I'm assuming you have to put it down at one point, and once it's down, every particle is up for grabs.
Yeah, they do sell
once the drink has been compromised, it's really fucking ruined.
They do sell like little hooks for you to like put wine glasses in the shower, and you can do it like away from, I guess, the where the water is coming, so it could be safe. You could probably put it all the way up on the ceiling, and it'll be completely separate from all the particles.
How will you reach it?
Yes, all the way up on the ceiling for me to reach for it and accidentally knock it over, and now I'm taking 2 showers.
Well, you're already
in the shower.
Yeah. Well, okay, so this has been
very informative.
Is there another lightning round question?
You got 2 lightning round questions? That's it?
Yeah, well, so far. You're only our 3rd guest.
If
Oliver made up the lightning round this episode.
Island, what 3 items would you bring with you? And you can't use a boat.
I wasn't going to use a boat.
Okay.
I would bring some type of knife, usually a machete of some sort.
Okay.
I would probably bring flint to be able to start a fire. And I would also probably bring rope of some kind. Shout out to the scene in Boondock Saints where rope is very important. But yeah, I know you can make rope with stuff on the island, but I don't want to have to do it. So
how would you make the rope? We gotta go into this now.
I don't remember how he does it.
You can make it from like reeds.
Yeah, you do like reeds with
like bamboo and stuff like that.
Clarinet.
That's why they make like baskets.
Watch Castaway. I don't know.
What?
Oliver said reeds like the clarinet.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean I think that's actually the same thing that they use.
I also played the clarinet.
I played the clarinet.
We all
played the clarinet.
There you go. We have another lightning round question. Did you ever play the clarinet?
What's your favorite note? Mine is G.
I just like the little part that you rested your thumb underneath to hold the clarinet up.
That's called the
rest.
The rest.
What's the ligament?
What?
I'm pretty sure that's called the ligament.
The anterior cruciate.
No. The ligament is the
cruciatus
egg, that you press, and then there's the reed, and then there's the G.
I can tell you the parts of other instruments, but I haven't looked at a clarinet in many years.
I played the clarinet for about a month.
I played it for 2 years.
I played the clarinet for 4 years, all the way through middle school.
And then I switched to
You started in elementary school?
Yeah, 4th and 5th grade.
I played in 4th grade, the clarinet.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I played in 4th grade.
And then I switched to chorus in middle school. Yep, chorus was better.
I agree, chorus is better.
I wasn't allowed to play the drums because they already had a drummer.
All right, next that happened to every male on Long Island. So
Did I Did I ever tell you the story about my sexist drummer rules at my elementary school?
You weren't allowed to play the drums.
Women
I was
can't
not
play the
allowed
drums?
to play the drums because they said it was a boy's instrument, and I was also
That's-
not allowed to play the trumpet because they told me that was a boy's instrument.
Well, now see, this is a little
because my
fucked
top
I
up.
feel like me having to
choices
point
were
out that
drums, trumpet, and then clarinet.
I feel like me having to point out that that's dumb as shit is like why do I shouldn't say that because it's obvious.
Well, see, it's also a little fucked up because none of the there weren't enough drums for any of the boys to play the drums, and the girls just straight up weren't allowed to play the drums. Who the fuck played the drums?
Well, they only had one drum set in my elementary school, and they decided that rather than having to teach a child how to play the drums, they would just take a kid who already knew how to play the drums and
Yeah.
have him play.
Yeah, I already knew how to play the
Yeah.
There was
That's what it
already a drummer who knew how to play the drums.
Yeah.
That's
Instinctively, I was about to say the full name of somebody that we went to high school with that was allowed to play the drums.
Also, Selena's sister played the drums in
Yeah.
her band, so
That's true.
#sexist.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was very sexist. That shit would never fly nowadays.
Well, I was gonna say let's ask Theo, but he's not here.
Yeah.
He would know if
He knows what is sexist and what is not.
he would.
Joker, does he actually?
Okay, next lightning round question.
How many actors do you remember being in the film G-Force, and can you name any of them?
Never seen G-Force.
Okay.
I know it's about guinea pigs, and it's a Nickelodeon movie?
It's
Thank
good
you.
to know
Wait,
that it's
actually, I love that you said it's about guinea pigs because everybody says hamsters and gets
No,
corrected.
because that's the whole point of the
every
G.
person in the movie on this podcast says that it's hamsters played by Tracy Morgan. They're right about Tracy Morgan.
Oh, Tracy Morgan's in it?
Tracy Morgan is the gerbils.
Guinea pigs.
Fuck. I also don't know what they are.
Is it a Nickelodeon
I
movie as well?
I have to get it's a Disney. It's like a Disney theatrically
It's
released
those
movie.
Disney live actions like Baby Geniuses
Yep.
too that nobody went to go see.
But I do, now that you bring that up, it's good that you bring that up. I have to issue an apology to our friend Alex because when he was on this show, he said that they were hamsters, and Jeremy and I both corrected him, but we both told him that they were gerbils. They are guinea pigs. But I will say we were closer. We had a G in our
You had the
animal.
G
Yeah.
part.
Is there another lightning round question?
No, that's it.
Okay, so unpin one more time, and we're all talking about the drinks that we're currently drinking.
Hey,
Got nothing more to say, right? Nobody's got anything to say?
I didn't get to give my fairy a margarita, which is what I really wanted to do.
You should have paid attention to the door more.
They must have literally not even come near the door. It was literally all the way in the corner.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a bunch of excuses to me.
It sounds like they didn't want to be seen,
Well,
which is
that's
the
the
point.
That is the point.
maybe they
so.
came up
Yeah,
and saw
wow.
Mike and decided they didn't want to be online.
So that car
That's
was probably
true.
Yeah.
All right, one more pin, and now we can talk about Tenet.
Fucking finally.
Finally.
Okay, so we've arrived at the topic of this show, which is Tenet. I think everybody here is a big fan of Christopher Nolan.
Yep.
I mean, I love him. I think the only movie that I have not been blown away by was actually Dunkirk.
Yep.
I know not everybody agrees. Marco likes Dunkirk.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I did like it.
But I think Christopher Nolan is one of those filmmakers that still knocks it out of the park every time that he goes to the theater. Every movie has an original spin, even his Batman stuff. And there's really not a lot of filmmakers working today like him, which is why it gives me so much pleasure that he has the balls that he has right now. Because as we've been talking about movie theaters possibly staying closed, he's insisted that the release date on Tenet stay as July 7th.
I think
Yeah.
7th, yeah.
Which is awesome because the movie looks great. And one of the big things I think movie theaters are going to have to consider when they come back is what movie is going to be big enough that it draws attention in. We don't have an Avengers lined up, and even the next thing Marvel has in the tube is not going to be a smash hit, in my opinion.
Can I comment on that? I mean, I just feel like with the amount of things that I see people trying to do now to entertain themselves, Do you really think that we're not, like, people are not going to want to go to the movies, like, right away?
I
I just feel
think-
like that would be one of the first things I want to do, because it's relatively easy to social distance yourself in a movie theater.
You're gonna have a.
I mean, you're still coming at it from the point of view of people that like to go to the movies a lot, you know?
Right. Well, now we've totally turned off that
I mean,
population
as
that only.
soon as the movie theater opens, I will be there.
I think it's going to go one of two ways, because it could go, like you're saying, with people being stir crazy, which I think like people like Bob Iger of at Disney is releasing Mulan the following week, and that's been his exact rationale is, look, people want to go outside, so we think we'll make our money back.
Well, there is talks of them
Moving it.
canning
Well,
the
that
release.
is entirely based on Tenet and how Tenet does. I wouldn't be surprised if Tenet fails, that we hear within that week, now we're pulling it. But you also have the possibility that there are people who are still afraid to go outside, and people who have now seen that movies can come out digitally and maybe don't value the theater experience. So I think the thing that's going to get people back in theaters is a really huge movie, which I hope Tenet can be, because how fun would it be if we had this original movie, totally like out there concept based off of just somebody's imagination, not a pre-existing IP, be this
smash
hit that brings everybody back into the theater.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah. And you've got two fairly notable names. I mean, John David Washington is not too notable yet, but
he was in a Best Picture nominee.
Yeah, and he's got the surname by being Denzel's son, and then you have Robert Pattinson, who's making a lot of headlines with being
Batman. And for him to work with Christopher Nolan also, so he's in the same league at least as Christian Bale. Is Harry Styles in this movie too?
No.
Is he?
I don't know.
I didn't see him in the trailer.
Maybe I'm just confused because he was in Dunkirk. Anyways,
what would he be doing? Singing Watermelon
he was in
Smile
Dunkirk
or
as just a soldier.
Watermelon Sugar.
Sugar.
Watermelon Sugar.
His album's not that bad.
Yeah, I'll agree. There's some good songs on it.
Man of quality.
I've never listened to it, but I won't judge it before I hear it.
Now, there's some
My
good songs.
sister's a big fan, so it's unavoidable, but it's not bad.
I hope the soundtrack to Tenet is all Harry Styles.
Now that would get people to the movie theater.
I hope when the plane goes into the building, it's playing Sign of the Times.
Just stop me crying, it's the sign of the times. And then is he going to be like floating in air around the building?
It's going to be slow-mo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
Pattinson is going to lift up and start floating around the building and slowly turn into Harry Styles.
Naturally.
You know who I just watched the new trailer? You know who is in this movie?
Who is in this movie?
Himesh Patel, which is not a famous guy, but he's in my least favorite movie right now.
Himesh Patel is a famous guy.
Yesterday.
Yeah, but he's not like huge famous. He's not notable enough to bring up unless you're me who watched Yesterday again.
Why did you watch it again if you don't even like it?
My dad was watching it, and I sat down and watched it with him.
That's how I ended up watching all 3 Back to the Futures in one sitting. Not that I don't love the trilogy, but I kind of just sat down and started watching them all.
Well, why would anybody ever watch Back to the Future 3 unless they'd already watched 1 and 2?
Listen, I'm not
Why would anybody watch the 3rd movie in a series unless they've seen the other 2? What a good point, Oliver.
I watch The Dark Knight Rises by itself all the time.
But it's not... That's not... Okay.
You've never just turned on Spider-Man 3, Jeremy? Of course you have.
But the way that you said it was not that. But okay.
But returning to Tenet briefly, I don't know. I'm really excited. I think even, I'm watching like a lot of interviews with John David Washington, and I just saw him say the other day, he goes, I'm actually surprised at how much the trailer gives away, which I think is wild. Because I've seen both trailers, and I still have no idea what this movie is about.
Yeah, but it's easy to say you know what happens,
I guess, if you're watching the movie and then maybe some of those scenes play, then maybe but
the
I don't
only
know.
thing you get from the trailer is the concept of time moving backwards, which, I mean, I love it, but,
Well, I'm interested to see how that works because Christopher Nolan has also said that this is not a time travel movie.
Sure.
It's something to do with physics. And then what somebody just said, like it's like the thermonuclear Cold War or some shit like that.
Well, if you look by watching the trailer, you can see that the time going backwards is very isolated
Right, to those
what
things.
is to what is moving backwards. Like you'll see people just driving normally on a highway, and then just that one car flips itself right side up. So it's not time travel.
In the latest one, you also have him waving his hand over the thing, and it jumps into his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or then the bullet moving backwards. I don't know. I think and again, I said this about Interstellar, and I love Interstellar personally.
Don't get me started on Interstellar.
I think that's a great movie, but a lot of people disagree with me.
It's the best movie.
There's a ton of people who take apart Interstellar and go, well, the physics don't work. And it's like, first of all, you're not a fucking astrophysicist, and this is a movie. So
they literally had multiple astrophysicists on the movie. I will give them the ending to the movie because there's no way to prove it. But almost everything else in it is fairly scientifically accurate.
Also, fuck you, it's a movie, and the ending works by the rules set up in the movie.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Pretty good movie.
So I'm hoping that we see this get received similar to Inception and less like Interstellar, because while Interstellar has its fans, a lot of people tear it apart unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Inception, everybody's afraid to touch.
Well, I think that's also part of the cast.
Well, and I also think Inception is the better movie, in my own opinion. But it's close.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Which one do you think is the better movie?
What, Inception or Interstellar?
Yeah.
Inception, hands down. Sorry.
Yep.
It's not. Can't look at
Jeremy,
it.
what is your best of the bunch?
Of Interstellar versus Inception?
All of Christopher Nolan.
All of Christopher Nolan?
Inception's still the best one.
Yeah, I still pick Interstellar. So.
I don't know. I can't. For some reason, I feel like I'm forgetting a movie that I really like, so I'm not going to say.
The Prestige, Memento.
Yeah, I think I was forgetting Memento.
Memento.
I love Memento. I'm going to say Memento.
Yeah, that's a good one as well.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the rumor that Tenet is a Inception sequel secretly?
No, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Not a fan
It
either.
wants to be its own thing.
Agreed. I hope to never see Christopher Nolan make another sequel. It was acceptable with Batman. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. We've talked about Doctor Strange on this podcast before, and I said that I really like the final battle scene in Doctor Strange where things are moving backwards and they're fighting. It's not exactly the same, but I hope scenes are cool like that in this movie.
If there's one thing,
those are my 2 cents.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I have faith in Christopher Nolan doing, it is definitely being able to beautifully shoot scenes that he wants to be beautifully shot.
Yeah, I mean, this movie's going to look awesome. I mean, he's also one of the only directors that can make a movie that looks completely gray and drab and still have it look fucking beautiful. Because the color palette here is totally gray, which usually I find very unappealing, but I know he's going to make it look interesting and be engaging. So I'm not really worried about it with him versus, say, a Zack Snyder.
I don't see the appeal of Zack Snyder, so.
I think Zack Snyder's a terrible artist.
I mean, I don't really love J.J. Abrams all that much either, but.
I don't really know why what J.J. Abrams had to do with it.
No, I'm just saying, just people who are supposedly really always involved in these big movies.
Speaking of J.J. Abrams, though, and big movies, the other news broke this week, and it's still a rumor, tentatively, because nobody has come out and confirmed it, but a lot of reliable sources have been running with it. J.J. Abrams could possibly be directing or producing the new Superman movie, which I've been saying on this podcast is like my dream creative force behind a Superman movie, because I think of J.J. Abrams' toolbox. His tone and the look of his movies fit Superman almost perfectly, because it's very optimistic. You're going to see a lot more color with it, and you're going to have somebody who really loves science fiction and powerful forces like that. I think that could be amazing. Hopefully, they don't recast Henry Cavill in there.
I was just going to say, how do you feel about that?
Well, I want a different Superman. When I say recast, I mean I want them to recast Henry Cavill. I don't want Henry Cavill back.
Right.
The Witcher, and you'll see how good he is. But
yeah, but The Witcher also, it's like one part.
It's very different.
I've seen how
it's not.
and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not written well. There's only right.
Well, the other thing is Superman, for the most part, has been treated very poorly in the DC movies.
Yeah,
Um,
it makes me so upset. I want to make it. Oliver, one day will you make a Superman movie with me?
yeah, what do you want to make the Superman movie about?
I want to make it about Superman. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Well, you hit me with the plot. I need to know if I'm going to produce this movie or not.
I can't. We're on a podcast right now. I can't have anybody stealing my ideas. I'm
Well,
not joking.
Just say it would be no good for this movie that we're talking about on this podcast. If somebody else were to try it, it would fail entirely. But
I'm not doing a bit. I really want to make a Superman movie one day.
well, hopefully one day Superman re-enters the public domain because that's the only way we're ever going to get those rights.
Yeah.
Can I play Lex Luthor?
Can you grow your hair out?
No, I was gonna shave it.
But here's the thing: if Brightburn could basically be Superman, can't I do the same? Although Brightburn is Superman, but he's bad.
I hated Brightburn so much.
I still haven't seen it.
And my movie would be what if Superman was good? So,
What if
So
Brightburn was
that's
good?
Superman.
but what if Superman was good?
Like the quality of the film.
Yeah. Also,
that's Superman the movie?
what if he was a good person?
That's also Man of Steel.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, well, he was more like Jesus in Man of Steel. But he did want to save people. Here's the thing about Man of Steel is people don't get it. I'll say it's the strongest of all the DC movies. Not that that's saying much, but I think it has more of an agenda of Superman trying to save people than people give it credit for. He was also only Superman for like 2 days in the movie.
I think it still misses a couple things that I want to see from Superman.
You know what I also don't really get about their whole thing is like Man of Steel Superman breaks General Zod's neck and everybody fucking lost their mind, right?
Sure.
Batman versus Superman comes out and Batman shoots a guy in the face. And everybody's like, yeah, no, that's fine.
Not everybody. Actually, I know a lot of people that recognize that as being terrible.
The vocal majority of people freaked out about Superman snapping the neck, but didn't care about Batman shooting people. You know? And I think that's strange because Superman has never explicitly said, yeah, I don't kill people. And there are multiple occasions in the comics where he does. But Batman, that's like his whole thing.
And that movie doesn't even work. Batman vs. Superman would work so much better if Batman had a code about not killing people.
Right, because then he would be breaking it to kill Superman.
And that'd be like the point.
Right, which would then make it stronger when at the end he realizes that Superman is a human being with a mother just like him. But since Batman kills also human beings, that moment just doesn't work.
I have a pitch.
It's almost like Zack Snyder's a bad artist.
It's almost like Zack Snyder. See, this goes beyond, though, him not understanding superheroes. This is just him not knowing how to write a script.
Marco is about to propose something.
My pitch is Superman, right? But he's in high school, and he's friends with Lex Luthor.
Oh.
Isn't that small?
That's
I know, it's small.
Yeah, that was...
In the first episode, they put him on a scarecrow and they put that S on his chest.
Yeah, that's the only time you'll see the S until like the final
you'll
season.
You'll see the Superman costume in the last episode.
For like barely.
Now I didn't watch the crossover on Infinite Earths. Did he get in the Superman costume, Tom Welling? No. Fuck that.
He is. Do you want me to kind
Well,
of say?
I'm gonna watch it for Brandon Routh.
You already kind of know what happens because based on what they want to try to do. Remember that new show that they were talking about where he's older and is married and has the kids?
Tom Welling? That'd be cool.
There you go.
I'd watch more Tom Welling as Superman. I'd also watch more Brandon Routh as Superman.
I would watch more Erica Durance as Lois Lane.
I thought you were gonna say as Superman. I was like, oh,
Superwoman.
Supergirl.
Well, we already have
name.
We have Supergirl.
Remember when Man of Steel was coming out? When you went to go see it on opening day, they gave you a comic book like they did with Venom.
That's true.
I didn't get a comic book on Venom, but I saw it later.
Yeah, well, we went to Venom on opening day.
Yeah, we got a special AMC comic book, and it included the movie's best scene. It was basically just comic book versions of 2 of the movie scenes, and one of them was when Eddie and Venom kiss each other.
You have a little kiss, and you see Venom's boobs.
Oh,
And
when
that-
he kisses the female Venom?
Yep.
Yeah, I got a comic version of that somewhere in my bedroom.
Yeah, I just threw mine out when I was cleaning out my car. But they gave one out with Man of Steel, and Superman wasn't in the comic, but Supergirl was the main character.
Weird.
Which implies that Supergirl exists within the Man of Steel universe, and we just don't see her.
It wasn't Melissa Benoist as.
No,
think
it
it-
was.
I think that logically it makes sense that she would because if DC wanted to go as far as Marvel, eventually they probably would bring in a Supergirl character.
I suppose so.
I mean, she does do a good job as Supergirl, I think. It's
See,
just
now-
the show itself is not.
I watched
good.
the pilot, and I thought it was very bad.
Well, that's the thing. The show is really bad, especially when it was a CBS show. The first season is CBS, and then it got picked up by CW for
Yeah.
Forward. Apparently, it's gotten better. I've only watched the crossover episode. Same thing for Batwoman, which is not good.
Here, Ruby Rose also is leaving Batwoman as well, so they're gonna have to totally recast the main character of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that'll be
One
interesting.
day I'll make a Superman movie. A definitely not Superman movie.
Well, give us your pitch. Just this
No,
pitch.
he doesn't want to give up his,
This
his ideas.
pitch wouldn't work for anybody else to make the movie. Totally the
Yeah,
wrong.
if
direction.
anybody else bought this restaurant, it wouldn't be a good idea.
Jeremy and I one day want to own a diner.
Yeah.
Together.
And every time we talk about it only in diners, and we talk
Yeah,
about our
exactly.
ideas for our future diner. But because we're in a diner, we have to preface every sentence with, "Oh, this would be a terrible idea for this particular diner location."
This location, this
Are you
really
gonna-
wouldn't work. But for our location,
Are you going to involve Lazy Susans at all, or?
well, the main idea is we want the Lazy Susan's on the table. That's a great idea.
Yeah, Mr. Peanut
Um,
Butter.
I mean, not for this diner, but maybe some other diner.
Not for this
somewhere.
diner that we're in right now. In this
Yeah.
hypothetical scenario.
This center right now.
Also, we want to put changing lights on top of the diner. That's the big goal.
Changing lights, how? Like you can change the color of them?
Color,
or-
definitely color.
The
Yeah,
Shiny Diner by my
color.
house did that.
It's a terrible idea for that location.
Oh, okay.
But this one,
Here's the thing: this strategy of ours doesn't work because there was a specific diner that me and Oliver were in, and one day he looked up and goes, "Oh, "What did you said? Like someday I'll own this diner." And then
said
I'll be
one
able to
day
change the
when
color of the
we-
lights.
When we own this diner, we'll make these lights change like the other diner that Brittany was just talking about.
Yep.
But the thing is, that diner now has changing lights. So our strategy of talking about how it doesn't work for that particular location,
But they don't have another diner directly next door that has Heinz ketchup. Well, that diner does not have Heinz ketchup. So we've still got them on that front.
So wait, you're not
Yes.
going to use Heinz ketchup?
Well, okay, so the business plan is we'll have 2 diners directly across the street from each other, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, one diner has exclusively Heinz ketchup. The other one does not. So when people in the diner with no Heinz ketchup look out the window at the other diner, they'll see that diner has Heinz ketchup and they'll walk across the street to the profitable diner.
I don't think people will care about their ketchup that much. That's
Yeah.
coming from someone who loves
Well,
ketchup.
this idea also started as an idea for a Heinz ketchup commercial. So
That could work then. Yes, as a commercial, sure.
yeah, but a terrible idea for this location.
terrible idea for Heinz Ketchup to do that commercial, though. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
it wouldn't work for their brand.
wouldn't work for their brand, but
Or any other known ketchup brand.
Do you know
Right
any
now.
other known ketchup brands?
Well, that's the point of the commercial.
Heinz. Yes, Hunt's. Yes, Hunt's is one.
It wouldn't work for them either because the ketchup is Heinz ketchup. So,
Great Value probably has a ketchup.
and once again, why would they?
No,
want it as Heinz
probably wouldn't work for that ketchup brand either. I don't think.
Yep. Only for our ketchup brand that we might make one day after we make the Superman movie.
Yeah, after we make
Can
my.
we-
You could put the ketchup in the Superman movie as product placement,
like they
for
did,
your ketchup.
like they did in Man of Steel when he went through the IHOP,
I help.
I have
7 times. Do you remember that when all of the Man of Steel ads had Superman flying out of an IHOP?
No.
Well, it did.
I think you're the only person that remembers that.
I just watched Man of Steel the other day. Maybe that's why it's on my
Yeah,
mind.
No, I know. Oh, but you're talking about the ads.
Well, the ads had
Like, yes, I remember the IHOP scene in Man of Steel, but I don't remember the ads for Man of Steel.
when we make our own ketchup, Jeremy. Remember how Heinz had Grinch ketchup?
Green ketchup, purple ketchup,
Yeah.
had a lot
Yeah.
of
And
that.
then there was
yeah.
Shrek ketchup, and none of them actually tasted any different. Can we make Superman flavored ketchup?
Probably not. I don't think anybody would let us.
Well, if we're a really successful ketchup brand, as we
And
will,
we've made a very successful Superman movie. It's a no-brainer. You're right.
it's a no-brainer.
I think you need to
let us.
get written in your contract when you draw up the contract for the Superman movie that you are then allowed to expand into ketchup. I think that's the only way it happens.
I think this
Yeah.
is the only. Well, and this
That's
will
the
be
thing. My whole new quarantine bit is coming up with ideas for movies that no one will ever give me the rights to do or give me the money to do.
Well, hit me with the next one. What else you got?
Oh, God, I have to pull up my list.
It's got a list.
Well, there's my
You
Superman.
have a written list?
I do have a list of movies now. I want to make 2 movies. I want to make 2 movies, but the problem is I want to make the first movie kind of a generic action movie, and I want the second movie
Oh, no.
to be a sequel to that, which is not an action movie. It's like a very slow-paced character study. And I don't think anybody would ever be like, why would you do that to that IP that you just made up? I don't think anybody would ever let me do that. But I think that the character one is the one I want to do.
Well, I want to make a show, right?
Uh-huh.
I've told you this in all seriousness. I really want to do this.
I feel like I'm talking about nonsense, but I legitimately am trying not to give away too many details on the podcast is the actual problem, which is why it all sounds generic and I don't have an actual
terrible idea for their own specific style. So
idea. Yeah.
I
There
wanna
is a
make
real idea other than just like, I want to make an action movie.
I want to make a show where all of the characters in episode 1 phase out and we slowly replace all of them. Not like when shows jump the shark per se, but I would like to see if you could keep the audience all the way through to the end with all entirely different characters that get introduced throughout the show.
I read something interesting about something like that the other day. It was from Mae Whitten about her role of Anne on Arrested Development. And they said that the idea was to have a different actress play Anne every time you saw her because she was she was that forgettable
Yeah.
that you wouldn't care that it was a different person. So that was supposed to be a running joke throughout the entirety of the show. But then they just asked Mae Whitten to just play her because they felt that she was good enough for the role. To which she
I guess that
seemed
means
only
she's
mildly
forgettable.
offended. Yeah.
Mae Whitman's
Well,
great. I love Mae Whitman.
I always thought she looked different in Arrested Development season 4, to where I actually did have to look up if it was the same girl. So I guess she is kind of forgettable.
Well, what year was it filming? Because it might have crossed over with Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Well, season 4 was way after the rest of the show was filmed because they dropped it and then Netflix
no, I know
picked
that's
it
when
up.
it's Netflix, right?
Yeah, so she was just older. Man.
I've got a movie pitch.
All right.
Oh, I was just about to say that I'll pitch you a
We're
real
back
movie.
on. So we're back on Superman, right? But
You can no. I'm the one that wants to make the Superman
Okay,
movie.
but,
You can't take this
Jeremy,
from me.
I'm
I know,
pretty sure
I'm
a lot
pitching-
of people
I'm
want to make
pitching it-
Superman movies.
I'm pitching it to you. You have full control over this idea, if you like it. So somebody kills Superman, right?
No, I hate it.
But
Doomsday
hold on,
kills Superman.
but you don't know who did it, so then it becomes a clue type movie on who killed Superman.
And at the end, only one man could ever kill Superman.
Doomsday.
His name, Superman.
Superman.
We can call it Klooper Man.
Nope.
Okay, here's my idea that I've been telling to everybody I know the past couple days. That I don't think anybody will ever give me the budget it needs, so I will never make it. I want to make a The problem actually with this one is there is not enough of a plot, but I want to make a monster movie. And here's what I was thinking about the other day. It's like, for example, Stranger Things. So I think that everybody's seen that, right?
Yes.
As in all of us, yeah.
Yeah. So the Demogorgon in Stranger Things, it's not like it doesn't really do anything any more dangerous than just like a wild animal, right?
Somewhat.
Like
it kind of also takes over people's bodies, so.
In season 1, I'm talking about season 1.
Well, that's the Mind Flayer. That's not.
Yeah, you're talking. Also, you're thinking of a different monster in the show. I'm talking about.
Demogorgon is the season 1 thingy.
I
Yeah.
thought the Mind Flayer was season 1.
No.
Oh, okay.
And in season 2 with the Demodogs, they're not like. Why is that more dangerous than a pack of wolves? I mean, it's an invasive species, and that's the only reason.
Dogs versus Hulk dogs from Ang Lee's Hulk.
So basically, my idea is that you.
It's not that.
Yeah, it's not what you're saying. You go into an alternate universe with a completely different ecosystem. There's not humans. It's some weird alien race. And the animals are not animals. It's weird alien animals. And then a real hippo shows up. And we do a monster movie, but you flipped the thing that's familiar.
So it's what we see as normal now in this abnormal world.
Yeah.
The monster.
So it's like the episode of the Twilight Zone. But
no. My worst nightmare is I would eventually say this to someone who is like, yeah, they did this already.
Yeah, the Twilight Zone. It wasn't monsters, but she was getting plastic surgery and you didn't see her face the whole time, right? Or you saw her face.
No, you didn't see her face.
Oh. But you didn't see the doctor's. You didn't see anybody's face.
Well, you're the expert, Britt, so.
Oh, no, that's what it is. So you can see her face, and she's a very beautiful woman, but she keeps trying to get this surgery. You don't see the doctor's
and she keeps
face.
saying throughout that she's like hideously disfigured and that like it needs to be fixed.
Right. And they're trying like really hard to do these like
Right.
experimental surgeries on her.
And the other
to
characters
help her.
keep talking like behind her back about how ugly she is. But then at the end, the doctors take off their medical masks and they're ugly and disfigured, but all of them look the same and she looks different.
I think Jeremy's concept is different enough to not really say.
I think that is very different from what I was saying, actually.
Well, does the hippo learn a lesson about the beauty within?
No, the hippo is just an animal.
Is it a giant hippo?
Is the hippo a monster, or are the other things the monster?
No,
is
the
the
hippo
hippo being terrorized?
The hippo
Does
is
the hippo
seen
talk?
as the monster.
Yeah, does the hippo talk? Because then that's fairly...
No, the hippo is not. The hippo is just a monster that shows up and starts terrorizing the town.
Actually, Godzilla and Godzilla talked.
So is it supposed to be that this town is now desensitized to demogorgons, but it had never seen a hippo before? So it would be scared of a hippo?
Yeah, so picture the hippo as...
It's not, sorry, no. It's not that they're desensitized to demogorgons. It's that the world that they live in doesn't have hippos. It is not our world.
It's just an alien world or whatever, and the hippo is now technically the kaiju.
No,
It's not a kaiju. A kaiju is a completely different
the
thing.
scenario, though, is how
It's not exactly, but kaiju is a different thing. But fine.
Well, you said you wanted to be a monster movie, right?
If they never...
Yeah, but I don't mean monster movie like kaiju movie. I mean monster movie like...
Oh, okay.
Stranger
I
Things.
thought you meant like Godzilla level.
No.
If they never call it a hippo, what is to stop people watching your movie from speculating that it is a different animal?
Because it's a hippo. You would look at it and you would know that it's a hippo.
Maybe.
I'm on board with it, Jeremy.
Hippos are fucking dangerous. Did you
They
know
are
this?
very dangerous.
Hippos are ridiculously powerful.
Well, one man could have killed the hippo, and his name was Hippo.
It's a movie like that where a monster shows up in a town and starts terrorizing the town. But instead of it being a monster, you flip the thing that's familiar. That's it.
I've told you the movie that I've wanted to make since we were in like the 9th grade. But I actually can't say it here because somebody will steal it. It's just some research that needs to be done.
Okay.
But it's about that famous actor and that thing that was stolen from him.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Are you talking about
No,
Cheaper by the dozen too.
what?
There is a cheaper by the dozen too,
Wait, what?
right?
You don't remember that bit you did? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
No, why am I? What about cheaper by the dozen too?
Didn't you have a joke movie idea where someone just had the DVD Cheaper by the Dozen 2 in their back pocket the whole time?
Wait, yes, I did, but I don't remember how it goes.
Okay. I thought you would remember.
Is the idea is always cheaper by the dozen too. That we make cheaper by the dozen too.
Well,
Yeah. Anyway.
got to be cheaper by the dozen 3 now.
No, we're making cheaper by the dozen too anyway.
Cheaper by the baker's dozen.
Great. This is really great content.
This is riveting
guys.
content.
I'm in it.
Well, what do you think of my hippo idea, Brittany?
I don't hate it. I just like kind of like Oliver saying with like the Twilight Zone thing. It's like you'll have to keep up that the entire movie.
Well, you need a
Like it
message
almost reminds
about
me
the
of
hippo.
it almost reminds me of like Planet of the Apes, where you think that you're on another planet the whole time, but in the end you realize that you're on Earth. It's
No, I
like,
feel like you're not getting it.
No, he's not explaining that. Like
I do feel like
it's just
you're
a
not getting
completely
it.
separate world where the norm, as if they were humans, are not humans. Correct?
Yeah, there's not like a twist about something at the end.
What if all
So
the
then-
people were
so now
hippos, and the people were scared of us?
So now the hippo comes in from the human world and is completely strange to this separate world, and they are seen as a monster.
Yeah.
And the
Marco
hippo just starts-
Marco understands me.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on this.
okay, what would stop people from just killing it?
Well, my question
What
is,
stops people from killing any monster in a monster
But
movie?
because the idea is that the monster, like a Demogorgon, is much more dangerous than
Hippos are extremely dangerous.
I understand.
They're the
that.
most dangerous animal.
Well, maybe you can make it a
my
giant
issue
hippo.
is also what is the significance of it being a hippo?
There
People have
because
never
hippo is the
seen
most
a hippo.
dangerous animal, first of all, and it's also an animal that doesn't.
Hippos are the most natural trained killers in the jungle.
They do, I think, have the most deaths.
They have like one of the highest kill counts for humans. I'm not kidding.
Well, my thing is
Also, I wanted to pick an animal that doesn't show up a lot in fantasy settings. Like a bear would be your most stereotypical like monster animal, but also bears show up a lot in fantasy settings.
How about
so it
a
doesn't feel
giraffe?
Out of place.
a carnivore,
a giraffe.
carnivorous giraffe.
You know, giraffes have
But
sandpaper.
I don't want it to be.
Fuck you up.
I mean,
Well-
giraffes could fuck you up, but I don't want it to be. I didn't want it to be a too exaggerated version of the
Okay, so you
animal
want to
because
make it a
then
hippo.
yeah, because if it's a giraffe that's extra dangerous, it's like, well, now you're missing the point that
Yeah.
the monster is the thing that's familiar.
But here's the thing. It's familiar to me, and that's like a great initial like, oh shit, it's a hippo, right? But if you're just watching the movie, to the characters, this is just a strange monster from outer space. You lose the significance of it being something of this world unless there's a message about the hippo.
Are you going to show the hippo, or are you going to keep it like kind of mysterious?
Now, see, if it was we only saw the hippo at the end, then we might have something.
Cloverfield.
Because that is a monster type thing. I mean, Jaws you only see for a little bit. Godzilla you only see for a little bit.
If you thought it was some out of world, like strange creature that we've never seen before, and at the end it was just a hippo,
Well, to
that's
us, it's just a hippo.
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
to
you
them,
could-
it's still a monster.
You could focus on like all the detectives trying to figure
Blair
out what
Witch
this
Project.
animal is, and they've never seen bite marks like a hippo's bite marks, because I think they just have like those two big teeth on top, I believe. So that's completely strange to them. So you know, as the viewer, you kind of maybe know it's a hippo, but you don't actually know it's a hippo till the end.
I think this idea lives and dies
like
with
that.
when we see the hippo.
Okay, an interesting
Just thought-
perspective
just
that I hadn't
thoughts.
considered about it. Yeah, I hadn't considered that aspect of it.
Because I think once you show the hippo, you've blown your load.
Well, you can blow your load multiple times.
You never
so.
want to blow your load too soon.
That's true. and
Yeah, that's
that's-
very true.
Yes, thank you.
So don't show your hippo too soon, or else your wife will
You
leave.
might accidentally blow your load.
You might accidentally blow your load.
But yeah, I'm on board, Jeremy.
Thank you, Marco.
You have at least one ticket sale.
I will see the movie.
See, it's another one. I don't think anybody because it requires the creation of an entire world from scratch and then probably CGI as well. No one will ever give me the budget to do this movie.
You could probably do it more practical effects with people in makeup, similar to Cats on Broadway, where it was done better than the CGI.
You could do it like Cats on movie theater, and then everybody looks like a creature from another world.
Well, that's all CGI. That's where it gets expensive. Trying to save money here.
If he doesn't animate,
in my mind, it's more like Avatar world.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get you Avatar money, Jeremy.
I know you can't give me Avatar budget.
I can't get you Cats money either.
That's the thing, is I don't think anybody will ever give me the budget for this movie, but I've been sitting on it. I didn't make up a plot for it. That's the thing, because I'll never get to make it. So what's the point?
I love the idea. If you show the hippo at the end, but I am gonna have to pass on count of I only have $6 for flexible spending this month. So
because we spent the other $1,400 on groceries.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Did I tell this story already?
No.
All right. So my father was talking to me about. I told him that I was going to get this apartment, and he decided to. Well, he hasn't spoken to me now in like 2 weeks ish.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know if he's mad or what's up, but yeah. So last time I spoke to my father, he said, well, gosh, a new apartment, how much is it going to cost? So I told him how much it costs. He goes, well, how much do you make? I told him that. And then he goes, well, let's do the math here. So he wrote down how much I make, and then he subtracted all of what he perceives to be my expenses, which is $20 to go to the movies.
Not a month, yeah.
$50 to fill up my car. But that's only one time filling up my car.
It costs you $50.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it absolutely costs me $50
right now
not right now.
I was like, gas is under $2 right now.
Right, but on a regular day, it costs me $50 to fill up my car. It sucks. Yikes. So he does all this stuff, and he goes, well, you can't do this. I said, why? He goes, you'll only have $1,400 left over for groceries.
Per month? I would love
God.
to have $1,400 for groceries per month. You could eat out every night with $1,400.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, the math is sound. We actually have more than that because we have two incomes.
True. You guys are dinks.
But
double income, no kids.
Since I have to put aside that $1,400 for groceries, I have to pass on the hippo movie.
Dang. It's okay. I understand.
Trump gave me a lot of money, so
yeah,
whatever.
Here's the thing. I could probably get you into the premiere.
Him or me?
Could you get me in it for old time's sake? Will you maybe you'll make enough money on the hippo movie to get better podcast hosts and actors for our next podcast?
No, the hippo movie is a thing that needs to be funded. It's not a thing that I get returns on.
Well, sure.
I need to be rich already.
Yeah, but if you get funded, right?
Yeah.
People in the movie, you want the movie to be a success still, I'm sure, unless you're trying to throw people's money away.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that at the time that I'm making Hippo Isekai, I've made it already. I have the money. I could have replaced you by now. It's not the thing that's going to rocket me into riches.
I frequently have this dream where you and I are working on stuff, but we've met Snoop Dogg and who's the other guy?
Is this a Lil Dicky video? Or?
Who's
No,
the other
this
guy?
is just this is a dream that I haven't had the dream in a while. I don't remember who the other guy is. Maybe it's Mark Zuckerberg, but I feel like it's an entertainer. But anyway, we've met Snoop Dogg and some other obscure actor, I suppose. And you get really mad at me because I have them start starring in all of our stuff because they are better at entertaining. Badder. Well, Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg is a great actor. Watch The Wash and you'll see.
What about Soul Plane?
Maybe it's
That movie
Snoop
too.
Dogg.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg and the guy who played Snoop Dogg in Straight Outta Compton could take over.
My dreams are not that fun. My dreams are just really good examples of my anxiety. I had a dream the other night that I went to a party and then everybody got mad at me at the party and left, and then my phone died and I was stuck at the building and couldn't leave.
Fuck.
I had a dream once where I was going through a haunted house, and I was the only one to ever make it to the end. And turns out it was actually a test of will and resilience put on by the mafia.
Wow.
Right? And so the mafia turns out he's actually haunted, and that's why he put up the
The mafia is one dude.
well, like the Don
Yeah,
of the mafia.
we say the mafia, he is haunted.
Yeah, the Don is haunted by the ghost of his mother, and that's the whole point of this haunted house. And it's kind of similar to many movies that have been made where, where it turns out to be a test, and Superman and many other things. Yeah.
You want to get dark? I have the same recurring dream all the time that I am like 5 and my mother is driving me somewhere, but I'm in the back seat of the minivan that we grew up with, driving. And I'm all the way in the back and she's all the way in the front and we're talking, and then she stops answering. So I unbuckle my seatbelt and I go to the front of the car and nobody is in the driver's seat. And the car is just going, and we're going to hit something.
Oh, no.
I have this recurring dream all the time. I've had it since I was a little kid. I don't know what it's about, but that's it.
I'm going to go talk to somebody about that one.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I have talked to people about it before.
I mean, like a professional.
But people isn't like not us.
I mean like a professional, someone who is trained to deal with this.
Do you guys have a number that I could call? Or...
I know one person that has a lot of dream books that could help maybe interpret it. Janet.
Oh, I have a lot of dream books.
Do you too? Really?
We actually just got rid of one of them.
I donated it. Yeah.
Yeah. So someone else knows what my dream is once they open up.
I mean, I can interpret it, but I won't do it on the podcast.
Maybe we could do an episode about dream interpreting.
If you cut
I
down...
thought that Brittany would have something to say about that.
Oh, I could, but I don't want to. The thing is, I know too much about Oliver, so it would be very easy for me to attribute that to things that go on in his life, and I don't want to totally blow up his spot.
I can send you all the dreams that I've written down.
Yeah, Oliver's not the only person that's on this podcast.
Well, I was just using Oliver's dream as an example.
Okay.
I mean, being in the back of a car and you're not driving is about loss of control. Being young means that you're reverting back to a younger age.
Sure.
Which
is loss of control.
Right, loss of control. Your mom disappearing means like some sort of abandonment or lack of responsibility issue. Depending on if the car crashes or not means a few different things. Like, there's a lot that can be. This
is dark.
Yeah. That's why I said I don't want to.
What about me? What about my mafia haunted house?
Yeah, why is the one man?
What about?
Oh, also, I also forgot to mention that I am Zac Efron in this.
Why is the hippo the monster?
Wait, what about my dream where everybody gets mad at me at a party?
Well, that's your social anxiety. That's not even unconscious. That is conscious. Like conscious thought.
My social anxiety is not a conscious thing that I choose to do.
I feel like I've had conscious.
It's not a conscious thing that you choose to do, but choosing is not consciousness.
Yeah, I've had conversations with you that reflect the exact same energy. Well, now Jeremy feels bad and is going to call his mom and ask him to drive him home for the podcast. I'm sorry, Jeremy. I'll watch your hippo movie.
I actually have no clue what you're referring to. I missed what you said, and then you said, "Oh, now Jeremy's going to be mad at me." I was like, "Nah, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about my dream."
No, all right. Who else has got a weird dream?
Well, what is my dream mean?
So for yours, I think it's more of an insecurity type of thing as opposed to like a loss of control or anything like that. It's about trying to prove yourself and showing that you can actually stand up to what your fears are. But the thing is, let me finish.
Okay.
So the thing is that you don't realize that your fears are actually your fears until you're forced to go through them, or until you're forced to be on the other side of it. And then you realize, oh, this is actually something that I was afraid of happening, but I've made it through, but I don't feel any better. I still feel that there's something out there that could get me, or there's some other force at work here that's stopping me from, yeah. So I mean, because you have the mafia, which is, kind of like a monster, or like something that is real, but doesn't really have an effect on you. But if you for some reason were involved with them, then it would be a fear or a general fear of that nature. Feats of strength, going through the haunted house, making it through the other side, literally facing your fear. But then at the same time, you didn't realize it was your fear. So it was like, it's all about the insecurity, because a lot of the times you're insecure about things that you don't even realize that you're insecure about. So
I also had a dream where someone sent me.
Well, we get to do 2 dreams.
Yeah,
Well,
you can
you
do
were
another
just
dream
saying what
too.
else we knew. Yeah, so this one's really quick.
Dreams.
Tell me about your cheese
I got another
dream
dream too after this.
So someone mailed me a piece.
I got a second dream.
Mailed you a piece of cheese.
Mailed me a piece of cheese. Turns out I can fly while sitting on this piece of cheese.
Wow.
And I was soaring over my neighborhood. And
I have a valid question.
And the cops were following
Did
me.
you fall asleep high when you had this dream?
I don't know, because
doing nothing?
I have no idea. I have multiple dreams written down in my phone and the dates in which they happened. All of them written in the perspective of me telling you.
So you were sent a piece of cheese. What kind of cheese? Was it like American single?
I think it was like Swiss cheese, like a big hunk of fucking cheese. Like.
And you were able to fly on the hunk
I
of
somehow
cheese.
discovered that if I sat on the cheese, I was able to now fly.
I'm going to look up what cheese in dreams means.
All right. The strangest dream that I've ever had. All right. I was in the 5th grade, and my older sister was graduating high school. I was in the 9th grade. My math is way off, but my older sister was still graduating high school.
When you were in 9th grade? Is that factually correct?
That is factually
Yes.
correct. So I had it at the very end of the 9th grade. And in the dream, I was working with my dad to put together, she had a graduation party in our backyard. So in the dream, I was putting together her graduation party in our backyard. And my dad walks into the house and goes, "You have to go outside and help that man." So I said, "Oh, okay, where is he?" And he said, "The alleyway next to the house." And I went in the alleyway, and there was this guy. I've never seen him before, but he was taking the siding off of the house, right? So I asked him what he's doing, and he said, "I don't need you to ask me anything. I just need you to skin these donuts." And he had a box of donuts and a potato peeler, and he told me, "Please skin the donuts." And then rats started crawling. So my parents' house has with the washing machine, like the smoke comes out of the side of the house.
The dryer duct, yeah.
Rats started crawling out of that tube, and then I woke up.
So I'm very curious about how you're going to skin these donuts. Were you
With
going
the potato skinner.
Like, were you going to skin the glazing off of them?
I think it depends
might
on the type of
signify
donuts.
something lacking substance.
That's why it was so light, and he could fly when he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I could find out the exact date and try to backtrack on what kind of inner problems I was dealing with back then.
But why did I have to skin the donuts?
Because you weren't ripping the siding off of the house. He was, so clearly someone had to do it.
Where did the rats come from?
They came from the duct. I don't know. Maybe you need to clean out your friggin' dryer duct a little more.
So cheese may be a sign that you're experiencing financial gain, good luck benefiting from an investment, and it may also point to hard work that paid off. Maybe it was when you were doing really well at work, or working a lot.
I don't know. It was a really long time ago, so I'd have to check the dates on everything.
Who knows? You skin in the donut. I don't know what the fuck goes on over there.
I had another dream recently.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I can't wait to get psychoanalyzed.
Yes.
I had another dream recently. I was taking a class with Oliver, our friend Rihanna.
Okay.
She was in the class with me, and we were taking this class, and there was a computer in the class, and then slowly I realized that every single person in this class, except for me and Rihanna, was not real, and in fact a hologram be controlled by the computer at the front of the room. And it very quickly became like a creepypasta. And me and Rihanna recognized there's a great evil coming from this computer and we have to stop it. And so we left the room, we like sealed up the room, and we left. And we like bounced out of there. And then I kept thinking like, why the hell didn't we destroy the computer?
Yeah.
And she was like, it's fine, you sealed the room. It can't do we cut off, so I forgot to say we broke the hologram projectors, so it can't interact with the real world.
Thank
We
God.
cut it off. It's fine. You don't have to go back. And I was like panicking. I was like freaking out, like, no, this is a great evil. We should have destroyed the computer. I have to go back. So I go back, I bust in, and the computer is gone. And I freak the fuck out. And I sprint out, and now the building I'm in is a maze and I can't get out. And in dream, I wake up, and I can't tell if I have woken up because I was out of my dream, or if now I'm being controlled by the computer into thinking that I am no longer in the dream. And then I went over to my mother and was like, what's going on? And then I thought to myself, oh, my alarm is about to go off. And then I woke up.
So
Good luck.
to me, it's actually pretty simple. You might not agree, but I actually think that it's a fear of school. I think that it's a fear of social interactions that have to do with school. I think that everybody else being holograms, although it may seem scary, would have actually been easier for you because all you had to do was destroy the cameras and they were gone. Whereas if they were real people, you couldn't do that. And you were so afraid that the computer was going to come back and, destroy things, because that's like really like the fear of having to do things that you don't want to do or having to go places you don't want to go. And for you, it was more of a challenge to make it through the school. That's why it ended up being a maze at the end, because you couldn't get out of it. So it's like that feeling that you couldn't escape, or you can't escape from like things that are causing you anxiety or causing you fear. And then waking up or trying to wake yourself up while you're in a dream is another form of trying to escape, like of escapism and trying to get away from the things that are scary to you. But then realizing that you're still in the control of what you were afraid of, that's, that was pretty straightforward to me, at least.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah.
I know, because I did have my own theory that feels like similar to that, but it's not school.
What was it?
Rihanna is somebody that I know through camp. I don't want to say the name of the camp that I work at.
Right.
Camp Anawana.
Yeah. I had this theory that the class was a metaphor for the camp for some reason. And there was, because I keep describing it as a black hole that I can't escape from, and this great sense that I have to go back in the dream, as well as Rihanna being like, no, you can just ignore it and leave. I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's very possible too, especially if that's how you feel. It makes sense to you, then that's probably what it meant. That's the thing about dreams. They manifest from things that go on in our mind and we might not even realize it. So if you were able to interpret the dream for yourself, that's probably what it was about.
No, I mean, everything you said also makes a weird amount of sense. I don't know. It's still interesting.
Very.
Yeah.
There's not an exact
I miss
science.
having dreams. I haven't had dreams in a long time.
I thought you were going to say I miss school, because I was going to say I miss school
I miss having
too.
feelings.
I am the only person going to school, and I don't miss it.
I do not miss school at all.
I do.
Do you got a dream? We'll try to psychoanalyze it.
I can't even think of anyone. All I know is Candace Cameron Bure was in my dream last night, and she looked old. But I think that's just because I was looking forward to watching Fuller House today. And that's all I can remember, at least.
I mean, I don't care how old she is. Candace Cameron Bure will get it whenever she wants.
Yep.
But she's happily married, sadly.
Yep.
We're over time.
Yes.
So I just really enjoyed the.
How far are we over time, by the way? Because we've been hitting 1 hour and 26 minutes for like the last 3 weeks.
I think we started at about 11. And I wanted to cut us off sooner, but I was really enjoying Brittany interpreting everybody's dreams. So
So I'll have to do that again. Everybody try to have a dream. And
I try all the time.
I have a dream.
I try all the time, but my dreams are mostly just
My dreams are often too obscure to put
Well,
into
if,
words.
like Marco does, if you guys wake up and remember your dream vividly, just write it down.
As soon as you wake up, if you remember it, I write down whatever I can remember and then try to figure it out from there because I will forget within the hour, not even.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
within minutes.
It's always something that I think I should do, but instead I wake up and I tell myself the story like over and over and over and over and over again instead.
Just text it to Oliver.
Could do that too.
Because that's what I do. Like almost all of everything.
Marco will text me his
Yeah,
dreams.
almost
quite
everything I have
frequently.
written down is basically directed to Brittany. So
Like not even like the dream that I had about like both of those dreams that I mentioned, not even intentionally, but the entirety of my day, I was just telling myself what happened in the dream. Uncontrollably for some reason.
someone's in our brain incepting us.
Maybe.
Maybe this is all a dream.
Full circle. We come full circle here.
I hope so.
I'm wrapping this shit up. I'm sweating. I need to put the air conditioner on.
Yeah, it's time.
It is time.
Okay. Marco, if you this is my new favorite thing to do with guests of the show. We've only done one time. Marco, if you had to end the show, what would you do?
I would say, and that's a wrap.
Okay, well, how about we change?
I like the idea of saying a phrase to end the show. Let's work off of that.
Oh, God damn it, Frank. God damn it. You'd find something from It's Always Sunny because they do say "God damn it" more than any other show.
I've never seen It's Always Sunny.
They say
That's
"God
a great
damn it."
show. That's a great show.
They say "God damn it" in like almost every single episode, multiple times.
Well, anyway,
About good riddance to you is what.
Good
what we
riddance.
said.
I like good riddance to you. I like good riddance to you.
All right, Jeremy, go ahead and say it.
Good riddance to you.
I know everybody else say it.
Good riddance
Good riddance
to you.
to you.
Good riddance to you.
Perfect.
Well, wouldn't it be good riddance to me?
No, good riddance.
No, you're talking to the person.
But I'm leaving.
Good riddance.
You
Yeah.
guys are saying
They're
I'm
leaving.
leaving.
They're leaving
No.
too.
Sorry, I'm talking to the audience. Good riddance to you.
okay. I thought you were talking specifically to me.
No.
All right. Well, I think we got it.
Yeah.
No, we got it.